So you're on the market for a new gaming PC. Problem is you can't buy shit right now for building a PC, so building your own is not even an option. Also, maybe you don't want like a gaming desktop. Maybe you want something, a bit more portable. As you guys know, I've been doing a bit of travel for work lately, and there's only one thing I hate more than being stuck in a hotel for an entire week, and that's being stuck in a hotel for an entire week and then also not having anything to do. Luckily for me, most hotels have free Wi-Fi nowadays, so as long as you have something that you can use to game on, you can make use of that time spent locked in a hotel at least a little bit more bearable. When it came time for me to travel, I wanted something that was not only good for gaming, but I also wanted it to be able to do some light video editing. If I ran into a situation where I got stuck in the hotel longer than planned, I could at least pump out a video if I had to on the road. What I ended up buying was the MSI GE66 Raider, a solid laptop with solid specs, and I got it for a price of $1,699, which made this laptop a solid buy. I mean, I got a whole entire computer for the price of a 3090. God, it still hurts. The MSI GE66 checks all the boxes I'm looking for when I'm considering a gaming laptop. First thing that I always look at is the GPU, and for a gaming laptop, I'm not looking for the ultra high-end gaming laptop GPU. I'm really just looking for something mid-range. Reason being is that no laptop GPU is going to beat its desktop counterpart unless it's one of those like humongous pizza box sized laptops with like a real desktop GPU just rammed in there. And even then, if you put it head to head towards its desktop counterpart, the thermal solution on those big laptops normally isn't enough to, let it trade blows with its desktop big brother version. The GPU in the GE66 Raider that I got right here is the RTX 2070 Super, and not one of those kneecapped Max-Q variants. I got the real deal, which I think is a great option for 1080p gaming. Speaking of 1080p gaming, that's like the second thing I always look at on laptop specs is the display. The GE66 Raider comes equipped with a 15.6-inch 240Hz 1080p IPS level display. I'm one of those that's in the mindset that at 15.6 inches, 1080p is literally all you need. 4K gaming laptops do exist at this size, but I mean, I think it's overkill for a screen that size to have 4K. Also, the RTX 2070 Super can push 1080p a lot higher than it can 4K, so you can get the most out of that crispy 240 hertz display, which I think is more important than a 4K display for gaming. The CPU on board is the i7-10750H with 6 cores, 12 threads. It's a good gaming option. I wish it was a Ryzen chip, but it's not, so I mean, you can't win them all. The 10750H scored 1,340 in Cinebench R15 with all 12 threads, boosting up to 4.17 gigahertz. And the CPU temperatures they stayed pretty steady at about 80 degrees, which is not mind-blowing, but it'll get the job done. Single core clock speeds were a bit better at about 4.55 gigahertz with a score of 190 and a much cooler 60 degrees. Also, I should just mention that all these tests were run with the fan in turbo mode, which keeps everything nice and cool, but you wouldn't call it quiet. In 3D Mark Time Spy, the GE66 scored a respectable 8300 while staying reasonably cool. The CPU clock speeds settled in at around 4.5 gigahertz, where the GPU clock speed settled in at around 1,620 megahertz. The GE66, though, did crush Overwatch on max presets, which is a game I often play when I'm on the road. So it's one I wanted to test out, and I got frame rates of 197 on average with a respectable 1% and 0.1% lows. I also like to play Modern Warfare from time to time, but this thing's only got a 1 terabyte SSD. So yeah, but if if Modern Warfare is a game that you want to play, there is the option to add another 1 terabyte SSD, so you can at least hold the game on this laptop. RAM is another thing that I'm very conscious about when I'm picking out a gaming laptop. Normally I'll go for 16 gigs, but because I wanted to be able to do some light video editing, I wanted a bit more just in case. And I also want it to be expandable. Soldered RAM is a crime against humanity. Luckily, the GE66 came in clutch with 32 gigs of RAM and is expandable to 64 gigs. Battery life was, what's expected on a gaming laptop. Batteries can only be so big because of airplanes. So if you use this laptop as a laptop while on battery power, it'll get you by for a few hours. But if you try to game on battery life, good luck. You're gonna need to plug it in for the full experience. The keyboard feels and performs great. The typing experience was awesome, and there was little to no flex in the deck. All around, the build quality on this laptop is pretty top-notch. Also, I found that when you hold down the function key, only the keys that actually have a function light up, which is pretty awesome actually. The RGB is great without being overdone. The keyboard is backlit very well, and they added this nice little RGB chin strap or something in the front here that gives you a nice glow on the table. The trackpad is responsive, and it seems like it has a good, palm rejection, as I didn't have any issues while using WASD while playing other games. It's pretty solid. Also has a really good click, sound and feel to it, so I don't know, I was pretty impressed with it. As for I/O, on the left side you have two USB 3.2s, one of which is a Type-C, and then you also have the audio combo jack. On the right side you have two more Type-A USB 3.2 ports, along with an SD card reader, which is kind of nice. And on the back you have a mini DisplayPort 1.4, another USB 3.2 Type-C with DisplayPort 1.4, an RJ45 jack, an HDMI 2.0 jack, and then obviously the AC in port. Oh, and the webcam. It wasn't hot garbage, and considering how much we use webcams nowadays, it's nice to see. It wasn't as good as like even a cell phone camera, but I've definitely seen worse webcams on laptops. Like my work computer is poopy, and I use that one the most. Now I do think the speakers are a bit muffled and they're not very loud, but who really uses laptop speakers? They get the job done, but normally when I'm gaming on this laptop, I got a headset on, so not a big deal. They're not the best though. All in all though, I have no regrets about buying this laptop. It's worth every single penny for when I'm out on the road in a hotel with nothing to do and then there's no restaurants open around me. If I had to just watch TV all day, that would be a nightmare. Now, if you can find this laptop like I did for $1,699, it's a no-brainer purchase, especially if you're looking for a gaming laptop. Normally, it's $21.99, which is a more normal price that you would see a laptop with these specs going for. But I found it for $1,699. So can you. So if you are in the market for a gaming laptop, I could recommend the GE66 Raider. I have no complaints other than the speakers kind of sucking, but who uses speakers? You gotta pick your battles. So keep your eyes peeled, look for those deals. So thank you guys for watching. I'll leave a link to this laptop in the description below so you can keep an eye out for those awesome deals. Also, if you want to lower the price a little bit, consider getting 16 gigs of RAM. I think that's a much better quantity of ramages to have if you're not going to do any video editing. But either way, I think you'll be happy with this. Till next time.